The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this place, you can see it when you look out your window, or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is this world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. What truth? That you are a slave, like everyone else. You were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind. The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room, you can see it when you look out your window, or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been mixed to What truth? That you are a slave, like everyone else. You were born into a prison, cannot smell or taste.
I got a fibrillation.
APOC, location. Targeting almost there.
He's going into arrest.
Lock, I got him. Now, Tank, now.
Neil, loco.
They've got more from the military controlling. Even if somehow got inside. Those are agents holding him. Three of them.
I know that's what it looks like, but it's not. I can't explain why it's not. Morpheus believed something. He was ready to give his life. He believed. I understand that now. That's why I had to go.
Why?
Because I believe in something.
What?
I believe I can bring you back. I know Kung Fu. 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 I know Kung Fu.
Why don't you be normal? It's not normal to wear your hair long. It's not normal to wear Levi's. It's not normal to listen to rock and roll. It's not normal to read comic books. It's there's a whole list of a million things that everybody does. It's normal.
The Department of Homeland Security has supplied us with some evidence collected by themselves and the CDC from the convention center. And it is our job to put the pieces together. Anyone have a theory?
Stop fucking with my mythos. I want to know. I don't want to push beyond my comfort zone. I want to stay here. Stop fucking with my mythos. I don't want to push beyond my comfort zone. I want to stay here.
And, I feel like I just need to really listen to my inner instinct. And, my inner instinct says, don't go right now. So I'm not going out. I'm gonna be right here until I get another message.
The Department of Homeland Security has supplied us with some evidence collected by themselves and the CDC from the convention center. And it is our job to put the pieces together. Anyone have a theory?
Why don't you be normal? It's not normal to wear your hair long.
The first improvement to toilet paper as we know it. The first improvement to toilet paper as we know it. I think deep down he admires me. I think deep down he admires me. I think deep down he admires me. The first improvement to toilet paper as we know it.
So the difference is, do you look at the challenges as opportunities, or do you look at the challenges as problems? And that's something that, as I've gotten older, sometimes I'll get into a weird mode where I'll say, all right, the stakes are really high this time. No. Why? Why weren't they higher? Why weren't they higher here? It's the issue or the challenge is a challenge. It's just a challenge. It doesn't matter if you're in a $50 million comedy or you're doing a play at a 60-seat black box. How do we decipher and give clarity to every moment in a piece of art? That's all that matters. Remind yourself that that's all that matters. It doesn't matter if you're in the black box or on set. Are you helping the director Joe Schmo make the clearest version of this story, or are you helping Martin Scorsese make the clearest version of this story? It shouldn't matter.
That's a
real biscuit.
That's a real biscuit. That's a real biscuit.
That's a real biscuit. That's a real biscuit. That's a real biscuit. That's a real biscuit. That's a real biscuit. That's a real biscuit.
And I got in trouble.
That's a real biscuit.
And I got in trouble. Saying that I had a gun on. I got in trouble.
For what?
Saying that I had a gun on Twitter.
But you can't really kill anybody on Twitter, can you?
I scared some. The LAPD came to my house. I got in trouble.
For what?
Saying that I had a gun on Twitter.
But you can't really kill anybody on Twitter, can you?
You think that's funny? Where were the laughs 10 minutes ago? Psych word for psych. Saying that for what? And I got in trouble. What? I scared some. The LAPD came to my house.
Did they really?
Yeah. I went to UCLA psych ward for 17 days. Half of it. Days.
Nobody analyzes comedy more than you do.
I do. It's a problem.
Ice cream maker. 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 That's a real biscuit. That's a real biscuit.
Nobody analyzes comedy more than you do.
I do, it's a problem.
Ice cream maker, ice cream maker.
That's a real biscuit.
Ice cream maker. Ice cream maker.
That's a real biscuit.
Ice cream maker. Ice cream maker.
So the difference is,
That's a real biscuit.
Ice cream maker.
That's a real biscuit. That's a real biscuit.
Ice cream maker.
so the difference is,
That's a real.
Nobody analyzes.
Ice cream maker.
That's a real.
Ice cream maker.
That's a real. That's a real.
Ice cream maker.
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 I think deep down he admires me. I think deep down he admires me. Perhaps that one I mean he sees because I think that at times, but I think deep down I'm an individual. That's why we separated. And me, I go down in him. Separate individual. Him and he's a lot of I think at times I think that to control my marketing and we separated. I don't take crap from no one. He sees a lot of people and I didn't even because he sees so at times he hates my guts, but I think the first improvement to toilet paper as we know it since the 1880s. The first improvement to toilet paper as we know it since the 1880s. 80s. Since the 80s, comfort wine, the comfort wine, comfort wine.
So we take the twice baked potatoes. So that. So that right along with the steak.
Right with the steak.
So everything comes to the table hot. Right along with the steak.
Right with the steak.
So everything comes to the table hot at once.
Yep.
So
twice baked potato with the steak. Right with.
They look amazing.
Stop fucking with my mythos. I don't want to push beyond my comfort zone. I want to stay here. Stop fucking with my mythos. Right. I don't want to push beyond my comfort zone. I want to stay here.
Didn't know you like to get wet, though. You would swim. Butt naked. Ill. Turn. Dust. DCP. Primo. Dog. That's what you had. That's what you were smoking. You couldn't taste it. No, I never done it. You have now. I haven't, but you have.
The Department of Homeland Security has supplied us with some evidence collected by themselves and the CDC from the convention center. And it is our job to put the pieces together. Anyone have a theory?
I feel like I just need to really listen to my inner instinct. And my inner instinct says, don't go right now. So I'm not going out. I'm going to be right here until I get another message.
But what am I? You're a nerd. I know you are, but what am I? You're an idiot. I know you are, but what am I? 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 No, I'm not. You are. No, Burrs. Knock it out. Cut it out. Shut up. Why don't you make me? What are you making? Because I don't make monkeys. I just trade them. Listen to reason.
Processor, a stick blender, a hand mixer, ice cream maker, ice crusher, fryer, chopper, cheese grater, peanut butter maker, the whole producer, a blender, food processor, a stick blender, a hand mixer, ice cream maker, ice crusher, fryer, chopper, cheese grater, peanut butter maker, the whole producer, a blender, food processor, a stick blender, a hand mixer, ice cream maker, ice crusher, fryer, chopper, cheese grater, peanut butter maker. The whole producer, a blender, food processor, a stick blender, a hand mixer, ice cream maker, ice crusher, fryer, chopper, cheese grater, peanut butter maker. The whole producer, a blender, food processor, a stick blender, a hand mixer, ice cream maker, ice crusher, fryer, chopper, cheese grater, peanut butter maker.
Space, opens time and space, opens time and space, opens time and space.
Hi, Kevin. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Kevin.
Opens time and space.
Ice cream maker.
Opens time and space.
Ice cream maker.
Opens time and space. Opens time and space.
Nobody analyzes comedy more than you do.
That's a real biscuit.
So the difference is, do you look at the challenges as opportunities, or do you look at the challenges as problems?
I think that at times he hates my guts. Comfort one. Comfort one. Comfort one. Comfort one.
local. They've got Morpheus in a military-controlled building. Even if they somehow got inside, those are agents. Well, 3 of them. I want Morpheus back too, but what you're talking about is suicide.
I know that's what it looks like, but it's not. I can't explain to you why it's not. Morpheus believed something, and he was ready to give his life for what he believed. I understand that now. That's why I have to go.
Why?
Because I believe in something.
What?
I believe I can bring him back.
He's going into arrest.
Lock, I got him. Now, thanks, now.
We met at Starbucks. Not at the same Starbucks. We saw each other at different Starbucks across the street from each other. And Hamilton got up the courage to walk across the street one day and approached me.
Yeah? I'd seen you at law school before.
Yeah.
And I know that sometimes I'd be in one Starbucks, you'd be in the other Starbucks, and I think maybe thinking, oh, I should go over to that Starbucks, next week, you'd be at the other Starbucks, so we kind of crossed. I remember what I was drinking when I met you. It was a grande espresso.
I thought that was really sexy.
Yeah.
I was drinking cappuccino.
I remember.
And then I went to lattes, and then now a double espresso macchiato.
And I'm now a big old, chai tea latte, soy milk kind of guy.
Soy,
because of the lactose.
And
I walked across the street, and there you were.
We met at Starbucks. Not at the same Starbucks. We saw each other at different Starbucks across the street from each other. And Hamilton got up the courage to walk across the street one day and approached me.
Yeah. I'd seen you at law school before. And I know that sometimes I'd be in one Starbucks and then you'd be in the other Starbucks. And then I'd think maybe, I should go over to that Starbucks the next weekend, and then you'd be at the other Starbucks. So we kind of crossed. I know, it's so stupid now. I remember what I was drinking when I met you. It was a grande espresso.
I was drinking cappuccino.
I remember.
And then I went to lattes, and then now a double espresso.
And I'm now a chai tea latte, soy milk kind of guy. Because of the lactose. And I walked across the street.
You know you like to get wet though. What's wet? Butt naked. Ill. Turn. Dust. BCB. Primo. D-Dog. That's what you had? That's what you were smoking. You didn't taste it?
No, I never done.
You have now? I haven't, but you have.
There are people screaming Because you guys have been screwing everything up. Bunch of jerkheads. P. Diddy's boat is all covered in wheels. And then Shaq's boat, the piece of wheels don't touch me. Now you people, you have to start acting like this is a crisis. And you have to get your stuff together. You need to strap it down. And get it together. Now I'm gonna go listen on my phone to get yelled at some more. So thanks.
This whole goddamn thing is busted wide open, Jeff. Busted open like a $2 pinata. The FBI's had a mold in with this drug hefe for months and months. She knows everything. She knows names, she knows dates, she knows places. She can connect the drug hefe to the bioattack. She can connect the bioattack to this Mr. Big. She can connect Mr. Big, the bioattack, and the drug hefe to the antidote. We get to Mr. Big, all of these cops are fine. This little bird is gonna sing, Jeff. She's gonna sing like a little bird.
Where is he? I'm retired. Besides, why would you want someone the king's thinking son fired? I might kill whoever you want to make the miracle.
He's already dead.
He is, huh? I'll take a look. Bring him in. Let me tell you, man, it's the best gift you could ever give to yourself if you've suffered any kind of like abuse as a kid or drug abuse or anything like that, to go give yourself the, I didn't even know what was wrong. I sat there the first couple of days like, look at all these stupid, you know, depression and like, I'm not like that, you know, right. I'm fine, you know, but I'm the guy that like just ruined my marriage because I banged some stripper. So, you know, it ruined my life. So there's got to be some kind of flaw in my personality that made me like think that was okay, you know. So I went, and it's the best ever.
Is this lasagna?
It is lasagna.
You kidding me?
So I did it in a little pan, right?
How long for lasagna?
Okay, so this lasagna, David, took 25 minutes total, but only 10 minutes first, okay? 10 minutes and then 15 minutes natural release. What? I just want to watch this here when I cut into this, David.
Gooey, come on. Look at that. You get your little plate here, David. Dig into that. Oh, sorry, here you go, dear. And all you do is just put some water. I've got my trivet inside. Yes, everything's right for this one. Yeah, there's all different types of recipes. Again, there's an app that has over 500 recipes.
Hey, I got that chicken Mexicana dinner you smell. Hey.
It's not normal to listen to rock and roll. It's not normal to read comic books. There's a whole list of a million things that everybody does that isn't normal.
We met at Starbucks. Not the same Starbucks, but we saw each other at different Starbucks across the street.
So that goes right along with the It's a whole food juicer, a blender, a food processor, a stick blender, a hand mixer, ice cream maker, ice crusher, meat grinder, chopper, cheese grater, ice crusher, meat grinder, ice crusher, meat grinder, chopper, cheese grater, it's service out for the fur, it's service out for the fur, it's service out for the fur, they heard 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 it's service out, they heard it's service out, they heard it's service out, they heard it's service out for the fur, now immer schaut's ja Master now immer says out for the fur, now versus the full hospital gets service out for the fur, now versus the full hospital out for the fur, now versus the full hospital out for the fur, now versus the full hospital out for the fur, now versus the full hospital out for the fur, now versus the full hospital out for the fur, now versus the full hospital out for the fur, now versus.
Hi, you've reached someone with a lot of social anxiety. I appreciate you inviting me to the thing, but I am not coming.
It seems impossible. In this day and age, you might discover an entirely new species of animal. However, we must remember it was only 70 years ago that the giant panda of China was first observed in the wild by Western man. Until then, it too was regarded as nothing more than a mythological creature. It must be pointed out that thousands of people, none of whom have ever heard of Medjugorje, kick drug habits each year. Yet Jill Jensen is convinced that her pilgrimage was pivotal to her recovery. Rita Klaus, suffering from an incurable disease.
I reached a point where I was like, oh, I want to be with this person. And she said no.
Wealthy man being told they are not allowed to use mayonnaise anymore. What?
I beg to differ.
No.
Show me where it says that.
Well, it's a well-known fact, Sonny Jim, that there's a secret society of the 5 wealthiest people in the world, known as the Pentaveret, who run everything in the world, including the newspapers, and meet tri-annually at a secret country mansion in Colorado known as the Meadows.
Just looking for a confrontation. I get so heated up that, I was looking for trouble. And thank God I never found it. Thank God a lot of stuff never happened to me.
What do you think you were fighting against?
I think it was being as ungrateful as I could because I was hanging out at a joint called the Cafe Central on 74 in Amsterdam. And there was a lot of great actors that hung out in there. And I would talk theory with these guys.
I played bad guys a couple of times and I didn't enjoy it. I just don't want to go there. There's enough of that negative stuff out there in the world. I'd rather make people feel good or make them cry or make them look inside themselves. I played bad guys.
A wild turkey bragging about his mansion. Wild best fucking mansion! Not bigger than yours, fucko!
The most toxic creatures on Earth live down here. The venom of a land animal is nothing by comparison.
someone takes that pill or capsule and grinds it down a little bit and dissolves it in water and then injects it into an individual, it leaves behind this telltale marker of the debris, the stuff that can't dissolve, that gets trapped in the lungs. So each little microscopic fragment becomes encased in a large scar, and all these scars gradually eat up the normal lung tissue, and it's really a kind of suffocation. In my opinion, all of the damage that he developed in his lungs was caused by whatever was injected into his veins, and if he didn't do it, then somebody else did it. And the cause of death, therefore, in my opinion, is homicide.
I would much rather fail gloriously than not venture, not try. I'm not as I said before, I'm not interested in competent, telling stories with competence.
Can you eat lentils during Lent? Sure, I don't see why not. You can't eat meat on certain days, but lentils should be acceptable anytime.
You think there's any connection between lentils and Lent?
I don't think so, but I'll ask Sister Mary Fred at church on Sunday.
Eat your favorite.
Fried chicken!
No.
Burgers?
No, your favorite, Pee-wee.
Cheese sandwich!
No.
I know, turkey a la king!
No.
Vegetarian plate?
No.
Shepherd pie?
No.
Olive milk?
No.
Can't think of anything else. I give up!
Egg salad, darling.
Egg salad, my favorite!
And we sold $100 million worth in 60 days at Walmart. I came in at $21.99 for t-shirts and sold $100 million in 60 days. It was so big. I mean, I remember I was sitting at a bar in Vegas, like a sports bar, and I remember it came on CNN and it showed my t-shirts on the rack at Walmart and it said, "Attention all choppers." I was like, whoa, that's big time.
I never sold drugs. I stole drugs, and what I did was make money from the drugs that I stole, but it wasn't actually I was a dealer or anything. Whatever I did when I stole drugs, it was certain guys that would come over, and that's what I did. If that's considered selling, then I sold it.
Be gentle with yourself. Be patient. Patience is something that is quite difficult to do because patience simply means to be able to sit with our suffering. Most of us struggle with that.
True. I was their number one son, and they treated me like number two. But it's human nature to fear the unusual. Perhaps when I held my Tiffany baby rattle with a shiny flipper instead of 5 chubby digits, they freaked.
I quite like that. When I go to a new place, I always look at the local paper and see, the headline, library book overdue. I love that. That's so much better than another 12 people stabbed to death. You know, if the headline on your local paper is something about, you know, stolen TV, you live in a nice place.
And nothing. I mean, I did nothing. I just let her walk out of the party, and I didn't say anything to her. And now she's gone forever. I mean, she's my soulmate.
Kenny, I just think it's dangerous to use the term soulmate. It implies there's some magical element that we have no control over, like fate or destiny. And I think holding on to beliefs like that stops us doing the real work. And the fact is, if your therapy here stays on track, I think you'll find there are many, many people out there you could easily be happy with.
Do you really believe all that, Sarah?
Yeah, I really do.
How many people have been touched by this, because I think we all felt like we knew him and he was our friend. And probably a lot of people are thinking, gosh, I should be looking around. Are there other people struggling on my own? People that aren't famous.
Exactly, and I think that's the concern for mental health specialists right now.
I feel like life is a mixture of things, and that's why I'm always intrigued by the tone of things where you're trying to mix humor and drama and happiness and sadness and everything all together, because I've never met anybody that feels one way at every, you know what I mean? It's like it's just comprised of many different feelings all at once. And,
well, I grew up watching
extreme
fantasy
level
films
that were always seemingly things that weren't real in a way, but that always spoke to me. So I've always been fascinated by things that are fantasy, but you try to tap into some sort of real feeling with it. And you know.
I have a story that you will want to listen to for 10 minutes. Why would any reasonable, and I might make a living doing that. Some people might even want to pay for that story. To the point that I can make a living doing that rather than washing dishes or preparing meals. That's not normal. That takes something, and I don't know whether that's, that's often very much at odds with being a functioning, well-rounded, good person in the conventional sense.
I am sorry that I am not as smart as you.
You always out-emotion me. I can't even have my own feelings because you are always feeling so much more.
Fine. We'll go to your parents' house for Thanksgiving.
I had an abortion, Glenn! An abortion!
Is that Madonna we're going?
Yes, it is. And you and she can share a room in hell unless you accept Jesus Christ as your personal savior within the next 3 hours.
Gavin McLeod. I got caught jerking off in a neighbor's attic, so I murdered them.
Push 10 cc's of lidocaine, 20 cc's of Pitocin, and 100 cc's of Cool Jazz.
Cannot wait to dive into some of this single mom tale.
Yeah, I can't wait to meet a woman, settle down, get to know her, and raise a family.
Mommy, I heard weird noises last night. Is everything okay?
Your mom and I were making love, son.
What does making love mean?
It's kind of hard to explain.
Our bodies fit together like puzzle pieces.
You know when Mommy tries to put a Pringles can down the disposal?
I don't understand.
It's like when a man puts his penis inside a woman's vagina a bunch of times in a row.
You do that to my mommy?
Damn right I did.
Wow, I regret asking.
What's her last name? I'll look it up.
I don't really recall. It's
Starts with an S. So swimmy, slippy, slappy, Swanson?
Here's on the briefcase. Look on the...
Oh yeah, it's right here. Samsonite. I was way off. I knew it started with an S though.
Hi, buddy.
Oh dear. Not good. What is it? Looks like your baby's suffering from noadoptitis.
That's not even a real thing.
Yes, it's a very real thing. You're gonna have to put him up for adoption.
What?
We recommend that you give him to me. Now, before you say no,
So now we are arriving to this interior that I really love because, well, first of all, because the light is just coming from one part to another.
And I love what Jeremiah 15:21 declares. Oh, there's so much in the Word of God, so much about this. Precious. And this is verse 21 of Jeremiah 15. And I will deliver thee.
I successfully know your password.
How you know my
I have hacked you. Your login was David.
Yep, let's bleep that out.
Neo, this is Loco. They've got Morpheus in a military-controlled building, even if you somehow got inside. Those are agent pony.
Relation.
APOC, location. Targeting almost there.
He's going into arrest.
Lock, I got him. Now, Tank, now.
Personalized plate, so we went and changed his name to J3L2404.
Hey, what are you bastards got a match?
Yeah. My butt and your, butt. Yeah. My butt and your, butt. My butt and your, butt. My butt and your, butt. My butt and your, butt.
Generally, we actually avoid actually going into a studio or going into a proper studio. At least on Hell and Acting, we only do that at the very end, the last.
I don't want to be a leader, Manny. I don't know. I don't see it like that. I wear the same pants every day for people say like people dress like you influence fashion or something. And I don't know. I get inspiration from my friends and my family, and we all, you know what I'm saying? I think our community of friends and family and stuff.
I'll turn this damn bus around. That'll end your precious little field trip pretty damn quick.
What's on the menu during a lockdown? There's the food we think we should be eating, and then there's the food we really want to eat. We're in the...
Well, look, even as I sit here now, I'd be stupid and entirely unaware if, even though I'm not trying to do anything for effect, this is authentic to me, and I've developed whatever this nincompoopery is. I'd be pretending if I say I didn't know it was different than right down the middle. You know, it's a little funny here and there. And if you like it, it's just your cup of tea, and if not, oh, it's a little too hot.
Right now, we're all physical beings. Yeah. And our soul, the energy of that soul is inside this vehicle. Well, when that vehicle ceases, for whatever reason, the driver, the soul, gets out and still, as far as I'm concerned, in my belief system, is able to exist. So what happens to the vehicle, the car, the body, doesn't affect the soul or the consciousness. So we're talking about the survival of consciousness and that energy, that love that we're connecting with.
God already knows in advance everything you're going to do. Take the problem of free will. This problem's been around for a long time, since before Aristotle, 350 BC. St. Augustine, St. Thomas Aquinas, these guys all worried about how we can be free if God already knows in advance everything you're going to do.
And have some sort of connection with one another.
I see dead people.
This is why dreams are mistaken for reality. To the functional system of neural activity that creates our world, there is no difference between dreaming a perception and an action.
Travels through this Byzantine conduit in their brain, through their memories of love or lack of love. And they register what I'm saying and they say, yes, they understand. But how do I know they understand? Because words are inert.
Is when it gets really interesting, I think. Is when it gets really interesting, I think. Is when it gets really interesting, I think.
When it gets really interesting, I think, is when we use that same system of symbols to communicate all the abstract and intangible things that we're experiencing transcend our isolation and
Where are they?
Understand, but how do I know they understand because words are inert.
Evening, John.
Evening, Jimmy. Noise complaint?
Noise complaint. Working again?
No, just sorting some stuff out.
I'll leave you be then. Good night, John.
Good night, Jimmy.
If you get a patient who has chronic anxiety, then I think you're confronted with an entirely different problem. And the first task here is the same as the first task in any serious problem, and that is the task of diagnosis. You have to try to find out first, before you do anything at all, what is the reason, what is the basis for this chronic anxiety. And so we have drugs which are called anti-anxiety drugs, drugs which are referred to as antipsychotic drugs, and antidepressant drugs. There is one group which is particularly useful in treating many aspects of anxiety. These are the so-called minor tranquilizers. Just to list them, they are the old-fashioned barbiturates. There's meprobamate, chlordiazepine, oxide, and diazepam. These are the usual drugs for anxiety. Those patients who were dying knew that they were dying. This wasn't the issue. What they were mostly interested in is having someone there with them who would more or less comfort them by their presence. I've never really discovered how to help a patient die favorably. The real problem in a dying patient is a problem of desertion and separation and loneliness. We don't know what death is. We can't conceptualize it. We all know what it's like to be alone and afraid and in the dark. And this is what I take as my cue. I assume that every patient who is dying is terribly frightened about being alone. And I do whatever is necessary to give the patient the feeling.
So, when I was in junior high school, I don't know what was going on, but I had this assignment that was like, what would you do on the last day of nurse?
universe. This ship has been beyond the boundaries of our universe. This ship has been beyond the boundaries of our universe. This ship has been beyond the boundaries. This ship has been beyond the boundaries of our. This ship has been beyond. This ship has been beyond the. This ship has been. This ship has been. This ship has been beyond the boundaries. This ship has been beyond. This ship has been beyond the boundaries of our universe of known. This ship has been beyond the boundaries of our universe of known scientific reality. No one knows where it's been or what it's seen. This ship has been beyond the boundaries of our universe of known scientific reality. No one knows where it's been or what it's seen.
anxiety. I appreciate you inviting me to the thing, but I am not coming.
young blows up and becomes gigantic overnight, I kind of get worried for him. I don't think anybody's cut out for it.
What would be my other name? Yeah, what would be my other name if there had to be?
Gary?
Yeah.